Feels good to get a win after a tough overtime loss yesterday. Lots to talk about. We got Schmaltz 2 goals. Lawson Crouse, like he never was not scoring. Logan Cooley another point. So much to get into. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes postgame show. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah here with Petey. We got Craig calling in from Mullett Arena in just a little bit. Danielle's behind the Mac. Petey, I'm throwing it right on you. Just kidding. I can do the 30-second summary. Do you want me to do it?
Do you want to do the 30-second summary today? I think it's your turn.
I'll do the 30-second summary. All right. So right off the top, we got Nick Schmaltz gets a penalty shot after a Montreal player covers the puck with his glove in the crease. He gets a penalty shot, scores his 3rd goal of the season. Later on, Coyotes getting severely outshot at the beginning of the second. They turn it on. They turn it around. And Lawson Crouse scores on an unreal pass from Matias Machelli and get things going. I'm completely skipping over any Montreal goal because, frankly, I don't care. In the 3rd period, Keller takes a stupid penalty in which the Montreal Canadiens capitalize and score on their power play. But then Nick Schmaltz says, don't worry, I got us on our backs, and scores a power play goal to win the game for the Coyotes. A final score of 3-2.
See, I like the summary, and I think the show could be over now.
I think so too. I also like the part where I skip over most of the goals against.
Yeah, and I think it just seemed like a lot of fun. This is funny because this game started off. You talked about the shots on goal, and with this, it looked like a back-to-back for the Coyotes, and it was. That first 10 minutes was awful. They were outshot 8-1, 9-1. It was really bad, and Montreal was skating better than I thought they would after 3 days in the desert. I'd like to think the Schmaltz penalty shot goal got them back. By the way, did he go in slow? It's just some of those high skill guys just go in slow. I want to see guys just buzz, just go as fast as you can go.
I know.
But after that, after he scores, I think the Coyotes started to get their feet underneath them. And by the second period, I thought they started to play pretty well together. And they started to connect offensively a little better than they had in the first. They were in trouble in the first, but this is one of those things when you're playing back-to-back, you just have to survive that first period. And they did. And they get through the first period 1-1, and I thought they were going to be okay. It was just maybe it was just me that thought it was, but I thought it was a really messy game, like sloppy and choppy, and it wasn't not a lot of flow. There's a lot of turnovers. It was just a really poorly executed game on both sides. So it didn't seem smooth and fast. It was just choppy. Maybe it was just me.
Yeah, I will say tonight felt like the result of what last night could have been if it had gone the Coyotes' way. Like it almost, it was a 3-2 loss last night, a 3-2 win tonight. Things just seem to be clicking a little bit more for the Coyotes offensively. There were some ups and downs for sure, absolutely. But yeah, I would agree with you a little bit. But doesn't matter if it's your smoothest, best game or a choppy game like tonight, you got to find a way to win. And that's what the Coyotes did tonight. And we finally had the top line step it up. I think I messaged the Discord at one point. The top line was cooking, especially in the second period, the second half of the second period. They really turned it on. They had so many chances, so many shots. I think you look at the shots on goal tonight, Nick Schmaltz had 5, Clayton Keller had 6 shots on goal. So they wanted it. Lawson Crouse had 4 shots on goal. And then Valimaki also had 4. Matt Dumba had 4. So you're starting to see, the guys that you need to be contribute. And that was something that's kind of been missing from the last couple games.
Yeah, the last 2 games, that top line disappeared. And I thought tonight it was good to see Keller and Schmaltz really get back into that rhythm and that where they were able to make passes together. And they looked really strong offensively. Barrett Hayton, no shots on goal. And again, I felt the lines tonight were a little jumbled, and because they were. And this is the first time Andre went 11-7, and I know we talk about a lot about the 11-7. And one of the things it does is it gets your top players more ice time. And your top players, Keller played over 19 minutes. Schmaltz plays over 19 minutes. But the one guy that I think suffered the most from this was Logan Cooley, who he plays 13 minutes, and a lot of that time he's playing with different wingers every time. And like he was out there with O'Brien and Carconi and Machelli once, and Machelli and Carconi. I don't know if he could find his rhythm, because I thought the two lines that stayed together were the Bukestad line and the Keller line. And I thought they had momentum. And I thought both those lines looked better because they're in sync and they're playing together all the time. So it was just, I think it's going to take these players time to get back into that 11-7 rhythm, if that's the way they're going to go a little more frequently. But to your point, really positive for Keller and Schmaltz. They looked outstanding together between the pipes and the shots that they had on net. Those two were really, really effective.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, I need to correct myself. I misspoke. It was a 4-3 game last night. Not a 3-2 game, but I just wanted to correct myself. But they felt similar one goal games, for sure. So we have a lot to dive into. Let's start with the numbers in this one, because the Coyotes outshot the Canadiens 36-32. Both teams kind of holding their own in shots, but Coyotes just had the edge there. Both teams successful on their respective power plays. Coyotes 1 for 4, Montreal 1 for 5. Faceoffs, Montreal actually dominated in faceoffs, but shot attempts, the Coyotes dominated here. 73 shot attempts to the Canadiens' 57 shot attempts. So I just felt like they were buzzing a little bit more tonight, Petey.
Yeah, the one thing that jumped out at me there, Leah, is the shots on goal, especially for the start that this team had and how poor they were doing at getting pucks to the net early, turning pucks over just horrifically in the defensive zone and through the neutral zone, which really led to that disparity in shots. So for them to be able to come back, completely spin that around, and that all happens in the second period. They outshot Montreal 19-10 in the second, and you really felt that momentum coming every time Keller and Schmaltz got on the ice. And that's really when that push came, is when the top line was on the ice. So I was surprised that they were able to come back. And again, it's good to see a team win in different ways. You know, somebody against Chicago, they win where everything's going in. Tonight, they had a tough start, but they still find a way to come through and get a win. So I think it's important when you want to be a team that's fighting for the playoffs, you need to learn to win in different ways. You got to win games where your goaltender saves. You got to win games where your power play is great. You got to win games where you sucked and the other team is better than you, but you found a way to win. Today, I thought this team was the better team for two periods. I don't think they were the first period. So I was excited to see that. And I know we're going to talk about a lot of things as this game goes on, but one of the big calls of the game was by the video guy.
Yeah, I was about to say that could have completely changed the momentum of the game. That was a huge win for the Coyotes in the first period. Like to get out of the first period, like you said, it wasn't their best period. To get out of it 1-1, because when it was 2-1, I thought like they can't go into the second down a goal. Like it's just not going to be good. And clearly it wasn't. It was a 1-goal win for the Coyotes. If that goal had counted, we could have been in another 4-3 overtime situation like last night. So yeah, you're
big shout out to Hunter Cherney on that call, because he was dead bang on. It was a great call. It's just you felt the momentum switch again. Like it was Montreal. Oh, what a goal! I thought they defended it so poorly. Would have been a power play goal for Montreal, and I didn't like the entry. And then all of a sudden it races and it takes this wind out of your sails. If you're Montreal, it just changed the momentum again. And I really think that was one of the things that sparked this Coyotes team. So again, huge shout out to Hunter Cherney. So again, this team, they're giving up too many opportunities, and on the penalty kill as well. I thought there were so many mistakes and turnovers, but found a way to win.
Absolutely. I know we're going to talk more about Nick Schmaltz when Craig gets on, because he has some obscure stats that I don't even know what they mean. But Nick Schmaltz was great tonight. It felt good to see him back in the action again, like we said, after the top line kind of disappearing from the score sheet. Obviously, the luck on the penalty shot, but then getting that power play goal with an assist from Logan Cooley and from Clayton Keller, who get on the score sheet as well. But Nick Schmaltz was just creating a lot of offense tonight, and I think he was the Coyotes' best player on the ice tonight.
Yeah, and it's funny because when he's going, he's tough to stop, and he was going tonight where shots were going to the net. He bring one off the post. But I wanted the point you made about the Logan Cooley pass. I know we've talked on the show, we've talked in the chat, we've talked in the Discord about the power play drop pass. And one thing that they've changed over the last, tonight, is Cooley is coming down the left-hand side. So you're going to have to watch this next time. So it's always Schmaltz and Keller going back to be the two guys coming up with speed. But they've had a problem with that left forward being planted at the blue line. Well, Cooley is now coming in that left lane. And I tell you what, he comes all the way back to the red line, sometimes even his defensive blue line, and he's coming up with speed. And now Schmaltz gives it right. He did it 2 or 3 times tonight, where right to Cooley in the first, second period, where they did it perfectly, and Schmaltz it just misses the net. And again, on that goal, it's an unbelievable entry. Guys going with speed, Cooley to the outside, Schmaltz drives the middle. Unbelievable pass for a goal. So I think I'm excited to see the drop pass being much more effective, with Logan Cooley being the guy on the left-hand side. So something to look out for the next game, because that was a really, really nice pass. And I think he is going to help these power play entries as this season wears on.
Yeah, absolutely. It was interesting because I think Andre Tourney pregame was talking about Logan Cooley. We tweeted one of the clips on our Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes, but just talking about, he was so aware at the beginning of line matchups for Cooley. And now he's like, now he just, go out. You're the next man up. And you kind of get that sense, not just with his general play, but just all the positions that he's getting put in. And it seems like he's a little bit more loose with the puck ever since he had probably his best game so far against the Blackhawks, and then obviously getting his first NHL goal last night. So
yeah, for sure. And I think that as this season wears on, he's going to have good games. He's going to have bad games. And a back-to-back are the ones that's interesting to me for these younger players, these rookies that are finding their way through and getting these, back-to-back or 3 and 4 nights, and see what they have left in the tank. I think there are moments where he was good today. I don't think it was an overall great game for Logan Cooley. And I don't think he played as well as he did against Chicago. But I think it's going to continue to grow as he continues to get confidence.
Absolutely. But I think we don't have to bury the lead on this one. We can go ahead and name Schmaltz player of the game. He's got that desert dog in him with 2 goals tonight, 5 shots on goal. Absolutely electric performance from Nick Schmaltz, and he deserves the desert dog tonight, Petey.
You know what he didn't have tonight?
What?
A smile. He didn't smile.
Does he ever, Petey?
I don't know. Ever? Like Christian Dvorak, could you show it? He gave the little fist pump after a celly, so that was kind of exciting. But I think it was a smile. Nick, let's see that smile, Nick.
I feel like there's so much about Nick Schmaltz. Like we hear, he's like karaoke guy.
I know.
And then
what, a golf course?
Yeah, and then you're like, you talk to him, and you're like, what? This is crazy. Oh my goodness. But let's take a few minutes and talk about Lawson Crouse, because he was a guy who had really been struggling to find offense in the start of the season. All of a sudden the floodgates open. He gets 2 last night, 1 tonight. But that goal tonight by Crouse would not have happened without an amazing pass from Matias Machelli. Just absolutely unbelievable. Of course, your boy Nick Bukestad getting the other assist. Your thoughts on the Lawson Crouse goal?
You know what? It's good. And we said this was going to happen, that he's just waiting to break through, and it's going to start to come for him. And it really showed again tonight. And he did the same thing. He got to the net. But this is all Matias Machelli. And this is why the two have such good chemistry. Machelli passes through 3 players. I don't know how many guys in the league can make that pass. And I really don't. And I know, they can call us homers, and we're cheering for our home team. But that pass is elite to get that through 3 sticks nearly on the goal line to Lawson Crouse. And I think what Lawson Crouse is doing now is he's just getting to the net and putting shots on net. And he had 4 shots on goal again tonight. And I think that's been the biggest difference for him, is he needs to continue to get those shots on goal. I am thrilled that he's back on the score sheet, because this team needs secondary scoring, and it's going to have to come from guys like Crouse. And Machelli, we talked about what a great pass. He ends up with no shots on goal tonight. And I thought there were more opportunities tonight that he passed up and not taking those shots. And I think, again, it's just, this team is just finding their way, and they're through 10 games, and they're third in the Central right now.
Yeah, someone pointed that out in the chat very early on, and I was like, really? It's crazy.
Yes, it is crazy. And the Vancouver Canucks are 3rd in the Pacific, and the Arizona Coyotes are 3rd in the Central, behind Dallas and Colorado. Are you kidding me?
Heard of them?
Heard of them, and not the Minnesota. Nope, not Minnesota, not Nashville.
Wow. Wow.
Not Winnipeg.
Okay, Leah's Nuggets time. Matias Machelli and Lawson Crouse are now, obviously Lawson Crouse, active point streaks, but Matias Machelli got an assist tonight, and he was before tonight and continues on the longest point streak of his career. So Matias Machelli, He's a cookin'. He's a
He's a
cookin'.
cookin'.
That's one of my favorite phrase of the night. I don't know why.
That he's cooking?
Yeah.
I like it too.
Also, I have another nugget. This is actually courtesy of you, and I should have said it earlier when we were talking about the Schmaltz penalty shot. So this is actually Petey's nugget. I don't know where you found this though.
It was on TV. It was
okay.
Matt McConnell gave that nugget.
Okay, cool. So Nick Schmaltz scores a penalty shot tonight, and he is one of only 4 Coyotes in history to score on a penalty shot. The others, Lori Korpikoski, Radim Verbata, and Christian Dvorak.
Wow, some shootout specialists included in the penalty shot goals. The Corpedo. I don't think you know Lori Korpikoski. Another Finn. Outstanding player. So
I remember him.
Do you remember the Corpedo? So congratulations to Nick Schmaltz. It's a pretty elite group. So it's amazing. And you know what? It just shows how rare that play is. It just doesn't happen very much, getting a penalty shot during a game. Are we going to talk penalties at some point? Because there's one that we need to talk about. Oh, we're waiting.
I would like to talk about that one with Craig, but I know people are itching to talk about the penalty on Clayton Keller, and I promise we're going to talk about it because what the actual F. But yeah, that could have been a huge turning point in the game as well, especially with the Canadiens capitalizing on that one. We're also going to talk about Slafkovsky a little bit when Craig comes on, because there's a really interesting storyline tonight, obviously, with Slafkovsky being the Canadiens' first overall pick in the same year that Logan Cooley was drafted 3rd, so 2 spots later. And their stats maybe not exactly on the same page this season. If you didn't read Craig's article earlier today at gophnx.com, make sure you go check that out because it's a really good read. And he talks to, I would say, the big 3, Craig Button, Corey Prum, and Chris Peters. Great quotes from each of them on the whole situation. So that's up right now at gophnx.com. And while you're at it, become a diehard if you're not already. That's my little plug. The Discord was popping tonight. We were cheering when we were cheering. We were booing. We were making lists that made no sense at Caleb. But yeah, so it's always a good time in our Discord for sure. But as we await Craig's arrival, we did a little restock of the Circle K snack cart today. Still no baked goods. But we got the chips. We got the gummy worms. Sometimes you need to.
I crushed it last night.
You were crushing the chips last night.
But I'm at home tonight, so I didn't crush.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But Circle K. I actually, my gas light is on. I need to stop at Circle K. Luckily, they're literally everywhere. I see like 4 just on my drive home from work. And if you're in the inner circle, you can save 25 cents per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups when you join the inner circle, which is completely free. And all you have to do is download the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. You can visit circlek.com for details. Petey, we're out of a wink in the office. But you're home tonight, so I'm curious. Did you have a wink?
I had a wink tonight after the game. I won't sleep tonight. So yes, I have my own personal stock of wink.
Okay. But can you tell the people why you love wink so much?
I do, because I want no calories, no carbohydrates, and I like to have that little bit of wink of THC and CBD. It takes a little bit of the edge off of after a long day of work. And I tell you what, you can go get it at Sunday Goods. Get it every Friday, where it's BOGO right now. BOGO, buy one get one on your winks at Sunday Goods down in Tempe. Did I say Friday Goods? It's Sunday Goods on Friday.
But I guess it's Friday Goods when you're getting BOGO on a Friday.
Yeah. Friday is good at Sunday Goods on wink. So wow. I do enjoy a little bit of wink. And now my new thing is I take it's a social drink for me. So I pour it in a glass with ice and you clink it around like you're having a little cocktail. It's fantastic. I highly recommend somebody that's dealing with stress and anxiety that wants to feel part of the social scene. Try a little bit of wink.
So you can get Wink. It's available in either 2.5 milligram or 5 milligram cans, and you can find Wink right here in Arizona. Look for Wink at all Sunday Goods dispensaries in the Valley and Botanica dispensary in Tucson. You can also save money online by going to Drink Wink, and Wink is spelled WYNK, and use promo code PHNX for 10% off. All right. Can we get ready to bring Craig into the mix? We're doing a post-game first, 3 people in this setup, but not a first on this show. But we are very excited to welcome from Mullett Arena, Craig. Let's hope we can hear him, though. Oh, Oh no. Oh.
Nope.
Yep. We
You got
can
me?
hear you.
You got me. Oh, I gotta get Cody out of my neck here.
Yeah. There. Just adjust your camera. Hello, Craig. This is fun.
Hello.
This is a fun little setup.
This is a crazy little setup. Look at this.
Look, this is new.
I
I
kind
don't
of
mind
like
it.
it.
I do too.
As I'm looking at this, guys, I gotta say, I'm having a bad hair day.
I was going to comment. I was going to say you brought your long-haired wig to the game tonight. Because last night, your hair wasn't this long yesterday. So I'm assuming this is just a different wig.
Yeah, I like to rotate them just to, keep it fresh. Different look each day. So.
And you do look tan too. I'm feeling really washed out. I'm not happy about that.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna go blonde. I'm gonna go blonde for the next show. Just preparing you guys for that. Okay.
That would really throw me off. Craig, we've been saving some talking points for you to get here, but before we get into those, I want to give you a chance to speak on the game as a whole, and I know you have some little tidbits on Nick Schmaltz as well, who we awarded the dog in him already.
Yeah, he was good tonight, guys, and they needed it. I thought they had a couple off games in their past couple games where that line wasn't generating much. They weren't getting the ozone time that we're used to them seeing, that high cycle that they have going. They had that going tonight big time, especially the last two periods. Nick Schmaltz was terrific tonight. I think I tweeted that expected goals percentage, which was just stupid gaudy. It just showed how much they were controlling play when that line was on the ice. And Clayton Keller was good tonight. I don't want to take anything away from them. You probably saw some of the little things that Barrett Hayton did tonight that are going unnoticed because he can't get on the score sheet and everybody's talking about that. But the puck retrievals, the screens, all the things that he's doing to help this line, that line was really working tonight. I thought Nick Schmaltz was phenomenal tonight.
Absolutely. And like we mentioned off the top, it's really good to see the top line getting involved again and getting and producing offense, because that's been missing. And Lawson Crouse too. Also, the floodgates are open, so glad to see him having success as well.
So I sent you guys some post-game audio that I'm sure you'll play after I leave. He talked about, his struggles, and he said he was just taking advice from Matias Maccelli, which was interesting to hear. But he said, Matias is the one passing me the puck, so it's a good idea to listen to him. He just came off that sickness, which he said absolutely knocked him on his ass for a full week. Couldn't even get out of bed.
Oh.
Probably shouldn't have played in the LA game, but he got his first point, so he's like, I can't look back on it and say it was a bad idea because at least I got a point. But he was in rough shape for a full week. Now he's going. He's got 3 goals now. This could be the start of something for him, and maybe he can pass a little bit of that love to Barrett Hayton and get him going.
Yeah, for sure. What was the overall? Who did you speak to after the game, and what was the overall takeaway?
Lawson Crouse and Nick Schmaltz were the players that we spoke to, and then of course we spoke to Andre as well. I think they're pretty satisfied. We hit the 10-game mark, so we probably do this too much. We segment the season into 10-game sections because 10
or
is
9 on our punch card.
Yeah, well, maybe we should try that instead. Just try something different from everybody else.
So mad.
But anyway, we hit the 10-game mark, and when you think about all that the Coyotes have endured with travel, right? They went to Australia. They played every one of their preseason games on the road. They started with a 4-game road trip. They had to come back, play a matinee, then go back on the road again. It's been a tough start for them in terms of the schedule. So to be over 500 at this point of the season, they're pretty happy. I think I heard you talking about this, Petey, a little earlier. They need to, I think we talked about it in the last show, actually, finish out this homestand now, right? You put yourself in a good position. You have 2 winnable games on this homestand against Winnipeg and against Seattle team that's really struggling right now. You have a chance to really set yourself up nicely as you go out on the road for what I believe is a season-long road trip coming up.
Yeah, and this is what we said too. You've got teams that we talked about. They're sitting in 3rd in the Central Division right now, and you've got Winnipeg Jets are nipping at their heels right now, just a couple of points behind them, and they're coming into Mullett on Saturday. I think this is a game if you want to you want to hold serve right now because American Thanksgiving is only a few weeks away. This is a game that really makes the Coyotes compete.
Yeah. American Thanksgiving is the cutoff, and American Thanksgiving also has that awful meal that's for some reason.
Oh my God!
Danielle, our producer,
I will fight you over this.
I'm chirping Danielle. Oh, I can chirp you now too because I know you both like it.
Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday.
What about the food?
It's the best. I love it.
You've never been to my mom and aunt's Thanksgiving.
If I could have my grandma's stuffing every single day of the year, I would. I absolutely would.
Petey, you got anything on this, or are you just going to be there? Nope.
I think we should save this for closer to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and we all are going to fight, for sure.
Yeah? Okay. Well, we can brawl. We can brawl on this.
No, yeah.
Go ahead.
Not the time. I'll get into it later.
All right. I'm going to bring up our next topic, one we were saving, and it's the penalty on Clayton Keller, or as I like to say, what penalty? Because that was not a roughing minor. What was that?
They felt what they told Andre Tourigny, and Andre Tourigny was very diplomatic in complimenting the officials for their communication tonight. He didn't say he liked the call, because I don't know how you could like the call. They felt he could have avoided the contact, so I guess Clayton Keller should have avoided taking the elbow to his face when he was trying to play the puck. The guy had the puck, so I have no idea what the officials were thinking. It was a terrible call, and it could have been something that swung this game and let the Canadiens win this game. If that had happened, I'm guessing we would have had a different reaction in the postgame. But as he said, they responded to adversity, like the way that they just stuck with it. They didn't let that get to them mentally. They respond with the power play goal of their own. Unbelievable play by Logan Cooley and Nick Schmaltz to get behind their men. And again, they come away with a win. So it doesn't sting as much. But yeah, that was a brutal call. I have no idea what they're thinking on that call.
I just didn't understand it. Like it looked to me like Clayton Keller's trying to get to the puck, and the Montreal defender doesn't see him there, and the Montreal defender swings his arms, hits Clayton Keller right in the beak, and Clayton Keller gets 2 minutes. I didn't know if I missed something. So
that's why I texted you guys, because I was like, what did I just
how many angles
watch?
we saw, and we're like, I truly didn't get it. I don't get it. And usually I'm on, well, there was something. No, that was a bad call. I just don't understand it. And then Gallagher does get the goal on it. And then, so that yeah. To your point, Craig, Gallagher gets a power play goal moments after that with Clayton Keller in the box. And you go, this could really swing the momentum of a game of a penalty that shouldn't have been called. So those things do matter. But this is what we said about the Coyotes. It's important for them to learn to win another way, and they did, and so good for them, and they battled back, and instead of pouting, they battled back and they get the win. So I'm thoroughly impressed 10 games in. I have to admit, I am surprised at where this team is at, and if not for the mediocrity of the rest of the NHL, this team may be in a different spot, but right now they're in third.
Yeah, I didn't mind either one of these games. The Anaheim game, obviously, they lost. Some of that's bad breaks. I thought they were the better team. Maybe not a great third period in Anaheim, but I didn't mind these 2 games from them. And it's good to see them bounce back. You had the Chicago win. You had these 2 efforts after the LA loss, which could have really, really hurt them, because that was a really tough loss to swallow. But again, we're at the 10-game mark, and this team's over 500. Not going to say it yet, but they're competitive. They're a very competitive team, and Jason Zucker, as I reported earlier tonight, is going to be back some point on that road trip. Looks like the Nashville game is what Bill Armstrong told me. So, barring any other injuries, they'll be back to full health as well.
Yeah,
and that's a big piece they're missing, for sure. Mm-hmm. He's a piece that I think, and Craig, I said this today because they played the 11-7 today. I thought Cooley had difficulties getting into his rhythm because he was playing with different line mates so much. I really will feel much better for Logan Cooley having Zucker on his left wing.
Yeah, I agree with you completely there. That's going to be a big boost for the lineup, and at a time when they'll need it on that road trip. 2 other things that I wanted to talk about. You were probably going to cue me up on these anyway, Leah, so I probably should have shut up. But Connor Ingram, again, he's really good. He's really good. He's been good every game but that one game. So they're just getting consistent goaltending all season.
I felt way more comfortable with him in net tonight than I did with Veggie last night. Like, just to watch the goalie, like, swallow rebounds and not be sliding all around. I thought he was really good tonight. As you mentioned, he ended the night with a .938 save percentage, stopped 30 of 32. He was really solid for the Coyotes tonight.
Yeah. And then something I wrote about today, got a chance to watch Juraj Slafkovsky up close, and I don't know what you guys thought, but wow, he just looks like a guy who doesn't belong in the NHL right now. He's slow-footed. He can't make plays with the puck. Doesn't look like he has any confidence. I don't understand it. I was talking to, I don't want to call him out here, but you know where Brad Richardson sits, up on the devil deck right at the end by the Canadiens GM box, and he's watching their reaction as Slavkovsky just makes another bad play after bad play, and they're like, oh, they're getting really frustrated. He's watching them in the box. Well, why do you have him here? What is he doing in the NHL? If you can see it, we can all see it. This kid doesn't belong in the NHL right now, and I guess they're worried about hurting his confidence, but is it going to hurt any more
I
than
would
what's
say,
happening on the ice right now?
yeah, his confidence probably is hurt more by not succeeding. It's the same. You can make the same argument for Dylan Guenther, and I think the Coyotes made the right decision, as you noted in your story today, Craig. And we actually have a side-by-side comparison. Obviously, Slavkovsky has one more partial season on Cooley, but if we can pull up the graphic, in 10 games each this season, Logan Cooley has a goal, 7 assists for 8 points. Slavkovsky has 0 goals, 1 assist for 1 point, and is averaging over 2 fewer minutes per game than Logan Cooley. So this is the first overall pick in 2022 and the third overall pick in 2022. And I think it's a situation that I think Coyotes fans are used to being on the other side of. Again, it's so early in their career, so I don't want to make a passing judgment on Slavkovsky. But if we're looking at this snapshot of 10 games, as that graphic shows, Cooley's the better player and is looking
no question.
like the
He's been
better
more
pick.
impressive. I mean, I don't know where he is after tonight, but he was tied for the rookie scoring lead in points. Slavkovsky just, not only is he not producing and does he look awkward on the ice, and that line's just getting cratered on the ice in terms of possession. They're not doing anything. And I remember what Craig Button said in that story. He talked about watching him Monday in Vegas where they had Slav on the wall on the power play. They did it again tonight. And talk about a fish out of water. He is not a guy who should be playing with the puck on the half wall. He doesn't know what he's doing. He ended up just coughing up the puck and the zone got cleared. It was hard to watch, a kid like that who with such high expectations being put in situations basically to fail.
It's interesting because you talked about him on the power play, and it's one of the areas where and I can't believe I'm saying it was almost a 4-on-4. Because he was so distant and disengaged from the power play unit. I don't know if he was drifting away trying to find more open ice, but he was not an effective player with a man advantage. And that's where you should flourish when you have all of that room and you have no pressure. That should be when you can make plays, and it just didn't happen. I'm wondering, we talk about overbaking, and the trend is to get those kids into the league right now and get them playing. And sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to go down to the American League and be a really, really good player there. And I think what's the long-term goal of this player? Where do you see the development of this player? And Leah talked about Guenther, and Gunther's putting up points down in the American League, and they're winning games, and he's competitive, and he's playing 18, 19, 20 minutes a game. Slavkovsky played 14 minutes a game, and they're not good minutes right now. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes over time. And then I tell you what, in our 5-year anniversary, when we're doing this redraft of that draft, it'll be interesting to see where we put Cooley and Slavkovsky.
Couple more points on this. I wanted to ask you too, we're talking about his role in the power play. He's a big body and they wanted to play more physical. Shouldn't he be a net front guy, Petey?
Yeah, I don't know if he's got that in his bag of tricks right now, Craig. I think I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can play. I think his skill set, he should be a bumper guy or a net front guy. And he can't handle it right now. It's just a little bit too deep for him. But again, that's okay. People develop at a different pace. And if he's going to 2 or 3 years down the road, we're going to look back and go, oh my gosh, the kid can play. It's just right now. So what's best for him? And it'll be interesting to see how Montreal continues, because this is a team that they're exceeding expectations right now. They're battling for the playoff spot in the East right now. Nobody thought that was going to be possible. They have a good start. And I don't think that's going to be sustainable for them, because a lot of it's been their goaltending. But they're going to have to make a decision on him this year. You can't have him waste a year where he's not being productive for this team.
Yeah, completely agree. Jake Allen was really good tonight, by the way. But
he was.
Just get the last point on this, comparing him to Cooley. We spoke with Andre Tournier before the game, and Logan Cooley came up. There was a huge contingent of Canadian media here, as there usually is. A lot of the interview was conducted in French. But, they're talking about Logan Cooley in comparison to Slavkovsky. And someone said, so you can develop in the NHL? And Andre said, no. you don't develop. The point is that Logan Cooley was at a certain level where he belonged in the NHL. He has those baseline skills. You're watching what he's doing. Yes, there are areas for growth. You can grow in the NHL, but he was ready for the NHL. And after the game tonight, he really complimented. He said, what I like most about Logan Cooley was the things that nobody's going to be talking about. Where he was positionally tonight, his responsibilities, right? Play away from the puck. He was very responsible. He liked all of that tonight. So it's sinking in with Logan Cooley. And again, they're not putting him in a crazy pressure situation. I don't know that Slafkovsky is either. I feel like he is. Connor Bedard certainly is. Logan Cooley has a little less pressure on. They're letting him grow slowly, but he's coming along. And you heard what Chris Peters said. He's going to figure it out. He did the same thing at the lower levels. He struggled for a little bit. He figured it out. And Chris Peters, who's been on this guy's bandwagon from the start, says, mark my words, he's going to have a big second half. He's going to figure this out, and he's going to make a big impact.
Can I read my favorite Chris Peters quote from the article? And I think you know what it is.
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I had to double check that I could actually use it.
If there's kids in the car, turn it off. Okay, this is literally, Chris Peters said this. So he said, quote, he can get into trouble sometimes because we'll do that offensive blue line stuff where he's turning the puck over, trying to beat guys. He's competitive when he's in his little fuck you mode. That's actually when he's really good. Just unreal. Unreal quote. And by the way, I did check. So Cooley now leads all rookies in points with 8. And Luke Hughes, Ridley Gregg, and Pavel Mintyukov are behind him for second in a 3-way tie with 7 points. So Logan Cooley on top of the rookie point leaders as of right now. And also I want to acknowledge a comment in the chat. We have Shan from Australia saying, being a fan the faraway land down under, I was ridiculously impressed with Cooley at the Global Series, and he's continued to impress in the regular series. Shan, I don't know if you're the diehard in our Discord today who joined Discord and became a fan of the Coyotes because of the Global Series, but if you're someone different, hello, and we will take all of the Australian hockey fans. I knew that goal would convert a lot of Australians to Coyotes fans. So that's my 2 cents on the Cooley Slafkovsky discussion.
Yeah, I should mention also, I think I texted you, but I just want to say it on the air so that people can hear it. Craig Button was wondering where you guys were tonight. So he was a little disappointed that you didn't show up. And I told him, they never show up, actually, Craig. They're never here.
Craig Button has no idea who I am. He knows Leah. Like, Leah.
No, he does. He's been on our show. He knows who you are. He mentioned you by name, buddy. He mentioned you by name. Where Leah and Petey? I mean, he did say Leah's name first.
He said Leah, and who's that grumpy guy that's always with you guys?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Shan, it's the same person. Well, Shan, we're so happy to have you here, and hopefully you can make some of our later night post-game shows because it's daytime for you. So kind of the opposite issue that a lot of our East Coast Coyotes fans have. Craig, was there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we let you go?
No, I think that covers it. I sent you some audio, so hopefully you can hear from some of the players if it's not brutal audio or video, rather. And we'll get ready to turn this around and have a matinee on Saturday again because the Sun Devils are playing at night, so it's another doubleheader of hockey.
Absolutely insane. Well, Craig, enjoy your day tomorrow, and we'll see you on Saturday.
All right, guys. See you Saturday.
All right. Bye, Craig.
See you, Craig.
Awesome. Well, we had a very, Petey, I know you're at home tonight, but we had a super eventful night here in the studio because the Suns were also playing at the exact same time. They had a 7:00 start too. And let me just say, this was my first time watching a game with Flex.
Oh yeah. How's he?
Maybe when you go to some places and they offer you earplugs, like if it's going to be too loud, like Flex yells. I was like, holy shit.
Oh, see, I thought Flex would be chill. Like, no.
I'm
Saul was the chill one.
I'm in the same boat as you. I thought he was going to be really chill.
Yeah.
No,
he wasn't. But it was an experience. I loved it. And now that we have the antenna installed in our office, which is great, we can do Suns and Coyotes at the same time. So they were on the middle TV watching on Arizona's Family Sports. It was my first time watching the Arizona's Family Sports broadcast of the Phoenix Suns game, and it was really, really cool to see. I just love that that's an option. So if you haven't watched the Phoenix Suns yet this season, you can do so over at Arizona's Family Sports. You can catch the game on 3TV or Channel 44 with an antenna, with cable, with YouTube TV. It's all there. So wherever you live in Arizona, visit azfamily.com and click Suns Games for listing information for your area. It's a great resource to help you find your Phoenix Suns games on Arizona Family Sports. And Petey, we saw a couple commercials tonight for our good old friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos.
I feel good. I don't know about you, but I feel good.
You do you, Petey. You do you. We're
I
so
will.
excited about our partner, Gila River Resorts and Casinos, and we're even more excited about their $1 million Big Red Showdown, which is really, really cool. You can sign up for that and stay in the game and get rewards, play fun, free games online for a chance to win $1 million in cash. You can also play weekly pick'ems and win up to $1,000 of free bonus play every week. There's also monthly drawings. So just check it out. You can visit GilaMillionDollarShowdown.com to get in on the action. And for more information on Gila River Resorts and Casinos and all they have to offer, head to playatgila.com. Petey.
Yes.
One aspect of tonight we haven't talked about. We had another themed night tonight. You know, we had Pride Night last week with the specialty Pride jerseys. And tonight it was Noche con los Yotes. How'd I do, Danielle? As the resident PHNX Mexican.
That was great.
I appreciate you lying through your teeth for me.
I want to hear Danielle say it.
See, I don't know how you would say. I guess it would
Los
be Noche de los Yotes.
Oh, Yotes, maybe? Okay.
I don't know, but the jerseys were fire. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the jerseys were fire.
The jerseys were fire. So we have a photo if we can take a look at these freaking jerseys.
And I'm sure we should have found out who designed them. Did you find out who designed them?
Yes, it was one of the Coyotes graphic designers.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
these
really
jerseys,
cool.
if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on audio, you can go on Arizona Coyotes Twitter, and I'm sure it's on their Instagram as well. They had a bunch of walk-in photos, but just a really unique, cool logo. And then I think we have the back of them as well. Really love the script on these. Super unique. So I've been loving seeing the designs on these. I still feel sad that we don't get to see them in action and warm-ups, but something still you can bid on, and with proceeds going to charity as well. So really, really cool. What did you think of them?
I thought they were really cool, and it just brought again the utter disappointment I have that we don't get to see all these jerseys and warm-ups. I just sorry, I don't understand. I don't get it. So I'm not sure. I don't know, but they were really cool, and those might be one of my favorites all time. That's how cool I think they are. I really like that design.
Yeah, me too. I really, really do. Petey, were there any other things from this game specifically that we didn't touch on that you want to make sure we talked about before we move on to our final few things?
Yeah, they're going to have to be better on Saturday. The Winnipeg Jets team is better. Like Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, these guys will, if they turn the puck over like this in the neutral zone between the two blue lines like they did tonight against the Montreal Canadiens, they're going to be in trouble. They have to manage the puck better. I thought this was a very sloppy game at moments, and they're going to have to be sharper as the season goes on. But again, they got the 2 points. So that's what's most important, and they're learning to grow as a group together and win in different ways. So I think it's another step in the right direction, and I was so thrilled to see that top line back on the score sheet. And Keller and Schmaltz were absolutely fantastic together offensively today. So let's hope that continues. And I think now that the 10 games are over, maybe on Saturday we can take a look at Clayton Keller after 11 games this year versus last year. So let's put that on our list of things to do Saturday, because he got hot again. So let's put that on our post game to see if he's keeping up pace with record-breaking season.
Yeah, I would love to see that as well. So we will we'll take a look at that on Saturday, and let's take a look at the rest of the upcoming schedule, which I think is drilled in our minds at this point. We got Winnipeg Saturday at 1, Seattle's coming to town, and then the St. Louis Blues on the road next Thursday. The Coyotes beat St. Louis 6-2 earlier this year. So a couple more winnable games. I think Saturday is probably going to be the biggest challenge, although the Coyotes are ahead of the Jets in the Central, as we just found out, Petey. So it'll be an interesting challenge. And again, I think a matinee is tough, but at least they're going to a matinee off of a home game versus an away game like they did last time.
Well, I know Craig said that Seattle started off slow. They've won 2 in a row, so that game on Tuesday is a concern too, because Seattle's a team that is so aggressive, shift after shift after shift. They wear you down, especially off their forecheck. So that one is another tough one. I think Winnipeg, Hellebuck, I always talk about Connor Hellebuck's one of the best goalies in the league, and he just hasn't found his groove yet. His goals against are over 3. His save percentage is under 900. He hasn't been what he's been in the past. Let's hope he doesn't figure it out on Saturday. Let's hope he has another couple of games where he's still struggling to get through. And you know what? I want to see Barrett Hayton get on the score sheet Saturday. That's what I really would. I'm going to get there live for a couple of periods, and I want to see Barrett Hayton get on the score sheet so we can stop talking about Barrett Hayton not being on the score sheet.
Yeah, for sure, because that one is kind of the last like major thing that it feels like is hanging over all of us. Yeah. Crouse has had success. Cooley finally got his goal. You're seeing other guys step in. The goalies have been really solid. So once he scores, once he even gets an assist at this point, we just need to see it, because it's kind of the cloud that is hanging over everything right now. But I know that we feel, and a lot of the people in our chat and our community feel, that he's so close and he's still contributing stuff off the ice. On the ice, just in other ways. But you just want him to have a full season. Like we saw how he leveled up in the second half last season, but you want to see that start from the get-go. And
I agree. And he's going to. I really believe he's going to. It's not like he's costing this team points, and he's turning pucks over to the point where they're, he's a -4 every night. So it's going to get there. It's going to come in. We got to get him. We got to call PR and get him on Walking and Talking. Blatantly Asinine. Blatantly Asinine is talking about the keys. We'd started the Petey's pre-scout, and it just, some days we just can't fit it in. So we've got 72 games to go. We'll get it in more than we don't. How's that?
Yep. I like this from Jimmy. You're either hot or you're due. And Barrett Hayton is due.
He is, buddy. He is due.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Petey, this was a home win.
Oh, goodness me. Do you know what that means?
And you know what that means, Petey. I think it's time to visit.
I know what it means. And I don't know if the chat knows what it means yet, because I don't know if they're into this rhythm of what happens after home wins. I know.
Okay.
It's from our new friend. I'm ready. Are you ready?
Let's hear from the Mullett.
I'm Leah Merrill with PHNX. The Coyotes win another home game. It's time for some Mullett magic.
It's a time for some magic. Look at the scarf, green and yellow, and then we wave our hands and say the magic words. Abramachelli. And it's now blue and red. How did we do it? Mullett magic.
Join the PHNX postgame show after every Coyotes game and see the Mullett Magician after every Coyotes home win. I'm Leah, and this is PHNX.
We may never
amazed.
Find out who he is.
Who is that guy?
I don't know. The mask hides it so well, and I do want to say I don't know if America's Got Talent is recruiting for the next season of shows, but we need to find out who this young man is. And he needs to be on the show. That's I couldn't even tell how he did it. That was amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing illusionist. And he's right there in our set.
Abracadabra.
There's a couple. So now if they win Saturday, now we're starting to whet the appetite and get people anticipating another phenomenal magic trick.
Caleb said, I hate that I'm laughing. You got him. I'm so sorry about the ads, you guys. It's a YouTube thing. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad.
What? See, we don't get the ads. Are people getting ads during the show?
Yes.
Like a live show?
Yeah,
Ooh.
It's a YouTube thing. Yeah.
I can't help it.
The good thing is you can rewind, and we'll tweet it on our Twitter tomorrow at PHNX_Coyotes. So look out for it there. And for me, you want to see the Coyotes win at home, obviously, but I especially want to see them win at home because of the Mullett Magician. And we're in for a treat this season with Mullett Magician in the bank. So We talked about the 10-game mark, but we like to measure our season in 9s. So let's take a look
Nice.
at the punch card because we
I
started
think
a
he did
new
that just to
row.
piss us off at the end of the year. We still haven't talked to Sean DePaz. He's so busy with his new important national show. By the way, for those, can we shout out the national show right now?
Of course.
We're doing that. Oh wait, it's the number 2 podcast in the United States of America in hockey.
Yeah,
number 2 behind the
Crazy.
Spit and Chicklets.
Yep.
Ahead of a lot of other popular podcasts that you've heard of. They're not number 2. Look at that. I had to go ALLCITY. I had to go Sean DePaz. Yeah, it's the pattern now. That first row. I like where we're going.
I know we're almost matching so far.
Yeah, we don't want to lose the next 2 though, so we need some wins. Yeah, we need to connect 4. Where's Charles?
Yesterday we called upon Charles, so Charles did reply to the tweet last night and said, next line of the punch card is going to be some critical info. Number 1 gives us something to compare to the 9-point performance of 9-1, and number 2, line 2 finishes on the November 20th versus LA, putting us near that all-important mark of U.S. Thanksgiving. So we can kind of track line 2 of the punch card as the cutoff, the American Thanksgiving.
Love it. I can't believe it. I thought that there may be a point in the season where they were above the playoff line. I really did. I did not think 10 games in they'd be 3rd in the Central. There's no chance. And hey, there is Edmonton Oilers have 2 wins, and we kept saying that was a very strong playoff team. Minnesota's at 3-5. That's a really good hockey team. So I know there's a long way to go here, but for this group at PHNX to be talking about playoffs and the Coyotes in the same breath is it's absolutely astonishing. From where you and I have been over the last 2 seasons, Leah, this is just, I don't care if it is game 10. I'm going to take it, and we're going to put it in the win column that we get to talk playoffs anytime in the year is a win. We're not spinning the wheel.
This was the wheel of fantasy that we spun 2 years ago. Like, it was this moment.
It was this.
And
you know
what else, Petey? The Phoenix Suns lost tonight, and the Arizona Coyotes won.
The world is upside down.
What world do we live in? The D-backs were just in the World Series. We can forget about that.
Yeah, D-backs were in the World Series. The Suns are losing. No, but that's okay. They were in the World Series.
Yeah, it was
that
awesome.
Team had when we started this, Derek handed off the loser torch to us.
Yes, I found the photo was on my memories the other day. It was the tank season.
Yes,
torch.
And he knew how to do it. He knew how to get through it. He said, "Here's how you do it," because we lost 100 games, and they were in the World Series. So, buddy, yep, the offs. Just never say never. Never say never.
Never say never.
1/8 of the way through the season, and they're in 3rd. 1/8 of the way, and they're in 3rd.
My goodness. Well, after 10 games, the Coyotes are 5-4-1. They're 3-1 at home. They have a +7 goal differential. The vibes are good right now heading into Saturday's game against the Winnipeg Jets. We spent a lot of time talking about the fact that Barrett Hayton is due. If that's something you want to bet on, you can bet on anytime goal scorer, anytime point. You can bet on shots. Those are all things you can do over at DraftKings, and check it out. The Coyotes, they're hot at home. If you want to see the Mullett Magician, maybe do a little money line action over at DraftKings. But whatever you do, you can bet action on the ice with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app today and use code PHNX. New customers can get $200 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on hockey. That's code PHNX only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort, Kansas, licensee partner Golden Lake, Charles, Louisiana. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/hockey terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright of the NHL 2023. All rights reserved. I thought that was pretty good. That was a pretty good one.
Wow, that was aggressive.
Oh,
can I go to smoke?
What?
I don't have to go smoke. Did you see Jeff Smoke Adams' comment?
Anyone else think Ron Livingston should play Craig when they make the movie of his life? I don't know who that is.
You do. Have you seen the movie Office Space? He's the guy.
Have you, Daniel?
I literally thought about
I haven't,
walking
but
off
I
the
know
show.
exactly who you're talking about. It's the
Leah,
meme
you've
that's
never
like,
seen-
yeah, if I like, it's the you would recognize the meme. Like that
Yeah.
would be great.
Okay, I
meme.
googled Ryan Livingston and I know who it is, and I do think that's a great casting choice for Craig,
Yeah, well,
especially with
yeah.
his hair day he was having tonight.
I'm literally speechless. I haven't watched Office Space. So this is, and I'm not even kidding. You are not allowed back in the show on Monday. They give you had the entire weekend to watch Office Space because you work in an office, and it is so applicable to working in an office. You will get your angst out watching the movie. Even Altex has seen it. He's,
Altex
what,
is so
14?
much younger than me. and he's
I know
seen it.
he's just turned 14 in his Lear jet that he's jetting across the country selling Bitcoin, and he's seen it. And you haven't seen it. Anyway.
Okay, I'll watch Office Space. I promise.
And I'm not kidding. It's a classic. You need to see it. There's so many lines for it, and you will absolutely enjoy it because you'll look at your office life and you'll go, "Oh yeah, that happens in our office. That happens in our office." Okay.
Mullett Magician can play Lawrence. I don't know who Lawrence is. Oh my God. There is a thread in Discord, by the way, of movies I need to watch. So someone can go in and add that.
Yeah, that needs to be on there. Okay.
When I watch it, I will take out a Four Peaks beer, I put up my feet and enjoy. I think that's the best way. I'm really on the pumpkin porter right now just because Halloween's over. Doesn't mean pumpkin's over. I think we're in full pumpkin season right now. So check it out. Great taste of nutmeg, allspice, and toasted pie crust in there. Oh, it's just so good. Just the season. Bring some pumpkin porter to your Thanksgiving dinner. And since Craig's not here, we can say it's a safe space. I love Thanksgiving dinner, so we don't need Craig shitting on it whenever I bring up Thanksgiving. But if visit fourpeaks.com/locator to find all your favorite brewery tours and events. Check out at Four Peaks Brew or at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. Must be 21 or older to drink Four Peaks, and please drink responsibly. Why are you so cheerful? Oh God. Yeah. Okay. The Suns crew is handling a loss earlier in the season well.
You need more flair, Leah.
They're not used to losing early in the season like we are.
No, I know. We're used to it. So remember that, Leah. Joel just said you need more flair, and once you watch the movie, you'll know what that means. Jennifer Aniston's the movie. How do you not watch it?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
I'm over it. I've moved on. Jumping to conclusions. See, everybody in the chat is throwing Office Space references.
Altex said he's 23, so
I know I keep saying he's 14. I'm sorry, Altex.
It's Petey's bit with you, so
the jumping to conclusions, Matt. It's a game.
Okay, I promise I'll watch. I'll come with a full review on Monday. I will.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Well,
Moving on.
I know Craig talked about his post-game sound. We'll have that up on our Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes, a little supplemental content as well. And speaking of supplemental content, Petey did an unbelievable breakdown of Logan Cooley's first NHL goal. That's up on our YouTube channel right now and our Twitter as well. I think we take for granted a lot that Petey was a freaking NHL video coach for 23 years and has the vision for this and the video breakdown abilities. So you can check that out right now on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. And when you're done here, it's just a 4-minute video breaking down the goal. So really cool stuff, Petey.
Thanks, Leah. I appreciate it. And I am trying to teach people the game because you have to watch it a little bit differently and you have to notice things away from the puck too. So it was a really amazing goal. He did a great job, but a lot of other people did some great things too.
Absolutely. Well, that's another reason to subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel because we have tons. I see all the references in the chat. Okay.
I know. You're right. We're going to have you come in on Saturday.
I am coming in on Saturday. I know that was a line, but anyway.
The chat means nothing to either of us right now.
No, Danielle and I are just like smiling and nodding. Anywho.
I believe that's my stapler.
We'll wrap this up. Subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. We're going to be off tomorrow, but possibly some content coming if you were at FanFest.
Tomorrow?
You were at FanFest. There may be some content.
I was at FanFest.
Just a pre-warning, it was all filmed by Petey, so any complaints you can direct toward him.
Yeah, we did not bring a professional photographer along to do the camera work. I'm sorry.
No. But we will be back Saturday for our post-game show, an afternoon one, so Petey and Craig will be up and at 'em for that post-game show. And you can follow all of us on Twitter at SPetersHockey, at Craig S. Morgan, at Leah Merrill, at Abracadanielle, and follow the show at PHNX_Coyotes. I think we are just about 66 followers away from 6,000. So I would love to get there before next week. If you can share our Twitter with your friends, with your family, with the Coyotes fans in your life. If you're in Australia and people are trying to get into hockey, share our account. Let's hit 6,000 by the end of the weekend. I would really love to see that. So spread the word, everybody. Thank you all so much. Be sure to hit the like button on this video. We sincerely appreciate it. And if you're listening on audio, go ahead and hit that 5 stars for us. It gives us a little bump and makes us feel good. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Enjoy your Friday. And we will see you all on Saturday.
We all silly like the mayor.